I
She could have
remember
just
what I'm
been
talking
funny.
about. Yes.
I was surprised she didn't come on the podcast a little bit.
It seems like, and this is all reports, these are all anecdotal reports, right? But it seems like her campaign was kind of chaotic. Like no one could make a decision. They had, I don't know how many conversations with my folks,
Right.
but multiple conversations, giving different dates, different times, different this, different that. And we knew that she was going to be in Texas. So I said, open invitation.
Right. You said you can come
Yeah.
whenever you want.
Anytime. You pick a time, I will be here.
And you would have been the best person for her to talk to because you're not going to attack her. You would just ask her questions, but that's the problem. I don't know if she'd be able to answer those questions.
I'll ask her a question, but I think they had requirements on things that she didn't want to talk about. She didn't want to talk about marijuana legalization, which I thought was hilarious.
Why?
Like, that's so... Because of her prosecuting record.
Oh, well, I mean, that was her old job, though.
Yeah. And, you know, she put a lot of people in jail for weed. 1,500, apparently.
It's not really
Allegedly.
that many, though. 1,500.
Well, tell those guys. Those
Are they
1,500 together in a room.
Are they still in prison?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think
Then they're
everyone's
fine
been
now.
released. Well,
Prison really builds character. You go.
I ain't talking to her no more. Oh, man. What had happened was, as they say, let's start here. To Kamala Harris and all of those supporters that she had and millions upon millions of people who really believed that she had a shot, even though if you squinted and looked at the polling, looked at the numbers, you realized quickly this wasn't going to be close. The Republican reservation, anxiety, I'm not going to tell you what I'm thinking, but I'm going to do it. I knew that was going to be in droves, and it actually was. To the point that she lost all of the swing states. We know that. Here's the thing. You learn this as you go through your life, that war can't be avoided, just postponed. Remember that. Whenever you get faced with a battle, and all the battles that you see, all the battles on the outside, the external battles that you have, you wake up today, there's a new problem. All of those are really reflections of the battles within, being real. War can't be avoided, just postponed. So when you talk about that battle that you have within yourself, a lot of times that's been expressed through God and devil. That's been expressed through good and bad. You know yourself. We all know ourselves. That's why we're in the locker room right now. The truest reflection of ourselves typically comes in sports, and typically it happens in the locker room. That's why we're here. And in this locker room, the internal battles that you face, Kamala Harris, between her old record of putting people away for a lot of time, a lot of them for marijuana, and how that has flipped, hit a 180, windy road to a new place. And she's scared to face those battles. You can't run for president. You can't say you're going to lead this free world. You can't say that you want to run our country and you're scared to have those confrontations. That inner battle needs to be exposed through direct questioning from Joe Rogan or someone of his ilk, someone of that level. Not just going around and doing those softy podcasts, not going around holding concerts, not going around just saying, hey, I'm going to give you some of this glossy conversation, some of the rhetoric that you know that was softball, not going on The View, et cetera. And this is not to diss them. It's just to say you're going to have that battle. You're going to have that contrast. You're going to have to talk about it, not dance around it. So to run for president, you can't call for attention and then hang up, baby. That's what my grandma told me. You can't call for attention. Hey, I want that. Hey, I want to be that. Hey, I want to do that. And then when it's time to go get it, oh, I'm going to go away. I'm going to hang up. I don't want that part. Can't call for attention and hang up. The number one reason she lost, in my eyes, it was very plain to see, very obvious, it wasn't political. Nah. Because if you really want to look at it, there are a few big issues that we were like divided about, right? Border looked different, right? The border conversation looked different. The economy conversation looked different, right? But underlining all of that was just a deep philosophical difference, not political, philosophical difference. Think about it. I'll give you a second. Okay, you thought about it. It was a philosophical difference that became personal for us. And the philosophical difference was Donald Trump will talk about anything, even if he steps in it, where she is trying to dance around it. Now, be real. When you start to realize, oh, philosophically, they just come at life different. Oh, personally, that matters to me, especially right now in this moment, because us, as Americans, are now having to face and confront our problems. The same problem she's trying to avoid in a conversation. Talking to Joe Rogan for 3 hours is not a problem, but she thought it was. Oh, I only want an hour. That's still not a problem, but she thought it was. The man said, look, stop dancing. Stop giving me days and times. Stop saying you're going to come on the 8th day of the week. Stop saying you're coming in February. Look, anytime you want to come before the election, we here. She didn't want to confront her problems. She didn't want to confront her demons. And we got to do that on the daily. Yep. No matter who you talking about, you're going to have to deal with it, right? Think about it. Even celebrities, entertainers, rich people, they still got to deal with it because the criticism comes. And I'm just using them as an example because we all know them. But you, the one who's anonymous in this world, who's punching the clock, and you got to deal with it. I got to deal with a boss that I don't like. I got to deal with a boss worse that don't like me. I got to deal with 8 hours away from my kids, and I'm not getting paid what I think I deserve. I've earned. I'm not even getting something that's respectable. I'm not getting enough to even have a layer of comfort. I'm just going check to check, but I'm dealing with it. And you can't deal with a conversation about it, and I got to deal with it in reality. Oh, if you don't get yourself away from me. She didn't want to deal with it. So you ain't going to get it. You hung up when it was time to go out there and do what you had to do when you try to call for attention. Hey, I want to run for president. Okay. We saw you try to run for president before. How that turned out? No, we ain't tripping. America is the land of second chances. Now you're doing it again? Oh, come on now. Come on now. Joe Rogan says it seems that she ran a chaotic campaign, or at least that's her team all over the place. Well, to give her some respect, 107 days to run for president, even though it was on your head before, but to actually put it into plan and purpose and to go out there and execute, let's just say that ain't enough training camp. You know what I mean? Like, and you don't want to deal with it? Like, I wish she had the personality of someone who just was like, win, lose, or draw, here I am, R-A-W. Just be raw, just be real. People gravitate to authenticity. People love somebody who they can see is killing it, winning, but also, damn, look how dusty they are in the process. Look how much soil they got on their shoes in the process, right? Isn't that the perfect balancing act? Like when people come up to you and say, wow, I can't believe how down to earth you are. Why are they saying you're down to earth? Because they see you, even though you're way up there, you're just dealing with it like we are down here. I love when somebody is on Twitter, X, whatever, and they write a post. And then people come at them and people support it. And they respond to the people like, hey, my bad, I messed up. Or, hey, oh, thank you. That was amazing too. I thought so too. Instead of this whole, oh, I'm only going to deal with this one side. I understand not giving negative things energy, but this is not a negative thing, our country. We just want to know what you think, what you're really going through. So she wasn't going to be attacked on Joe Rogan. She knows she wasn't going to be attacked on these shows, but she was going to be held to a standard of accountability that was going to be direct. Joe Rogan dressed up for Donald Trump and gave it to him like this. Yeah. Now we could buddy out some too. And when you leave and I realize she's not coming, all right, you got my endorsement. You know, a lot of people, think about it. A lot of people been on these podcasts all that time. Who are you voting for? You know, I'm waiting for all of the information to come in. And, you know, there's a lot of things that is just unknown. Man, it's 2 days away from the election. You don't know who you vote for. And Joe Rogan was in that camp, even though we all knew, but we didn't know. But respect to him for letting it hang in the balance that long because he was giving her opportunity for some of that, if not most of that time. And she didn't want to call. That's where that situation went. It became deeply personal for everybody because philosophically, you don't want this smoke. You can't lead us if you don't want the smoke. Hey, it's they're having wars out there, and there's potential World War III out there. How are you gonna sit down with Putin? How are you gonna sit down with some of these leaders and you sitting there saying, well, and she didn't have to be that way. That's not misogyny. That's not a lady quality. My mama was gangster. My grandma was gangster. Her nickname was Grandma Blackie Gangster G. She was the mayor of Compton. You think she ain't gangster? Now, she ain't qualified to run for president for other reasons, but unless y'all like E and J. But the point being, it was nothing but she didn't want to deal with it. So now she got to deal with it. That's why in life, war can't be avoided, y'all. Just postpone. Don't ever postpone it longer than you have to, because all you're doing is really avoiding your greatness. All right. Make sure you guys log on to projecttransition.org. Help us support the itty bitties out there in the community. Beat it up in the comments too as well. Tell me what you think of. You do it anyway now. I ain't even got to say beat it up in the comments now. Y'all just be like, oh man, I disagree. Oh yeah, you know what, Wiley? I don't always agree with you, but I get it. But do y'all get this freestyle right now? Y'all want this freestyle? Let's get it going. All right. People starting to like my freestyles. Let's go. No drama. Man, I wish my mama ran for press. Woo, I wouldn't have been a resident of this country no more because my mama wasn't going to play. She wasn't going to care about poor. She wasn't going to care about rich. She wasn't going to be no what. She wasn't going to do none of that because my mama no whack. Kamala was scared. Maybe not so much prepared. I wish she would have dared. Opened up and shared, but she didn't. And now she got to deal with it. What rhymes with deal with it? Get real with it. Love for you guys out there. And if you guys become supporters, you will get acknowledgement like Tiffany Wong, who made a one-time $1,000 donation supporting Project Transition. They ain't got to be that expensive. They could be more too, but they ain't got to be that. Just make sure you guys drop something and become a gym member. You know what gym members get, right? They get a signed, sealed book from yours truly. Yes, I will hook you guys up with this book right here. It's called Never Shut Up. If you're still with me, I want to send this to you. So make sure you're a giver every single month. Never shut up. I said, never shut up. I said, never shut up. Love for you guys out there. Have a great day. And I made the one go get the boy. Thank you. Far too kind. What's up, y'all? It's Marcellus Wiley, founder of Project Transition and proud gym member. I'm excited to share with you an opportunity that will support our kids on their mission to making their dreams a reality. At Project Transition, we believe that real change comes from consistent action and support. That's why we invite you to join our powerful gym membership program that is making a difference every single day. As a gym partner, by giving every month, you'll fuel our mission by providing monthly support that turns into real empowerment and education for underserved youth. Your commitment reduces school dropouts, nurtures communities, and funds impactful programs like the Rising Stars Academy that we share. Together, we can turn potential into prosperity. Join the group of community champions driving change. Your contributions will help aid success by providing essential educational resources, building critical life skills, and fostering community strength. There's no better feeling than knowing your support will ignite hope, foster dreams, and empower the next generation. Join us today and be a part of transformative change. Help our youth become greater than their greatest excuse. Become a gym partner. Thank you.